I know I always have ridiculous TBR, but I think this month is the worst one. Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my August TBR. So basically all the books that I'm hoping to read in August. I'm very excited. I do have like 1 week left in July, but so far I haven't read that many books because I have been reading a ton of big books, and it's going to be the same in August. So let's be real. A few of these, you know, I want to read them, but it's definitely happening this month. By the way, if you hear me having a little bit of a lisp, I changed my Invisalign last night and I am struggling. My teeth are killing me. Teeth is so hard to say with Invisalign. Let me start with the Patreon book club pick of the month. You voted for Jane Austen, which I am all for. I've been mentioning how I've been more in the mood to read more classics, probably because I've been mentioning I want to do a classic challenge next year. And obviously, I want to now start. So I will be reading, and you too, Northanger Abbey. I have never read anything else by her except Emma and Pride and Prejudice. And the short story, actually. The movie, I think, is Friendship and Love. Can't remember the name of the little novella, but I wanted to read more by her. By the way, this is one of these gorgeous edition vintage classics. I got mine on Book Depository. I'll link it down below. What I like is that the cover is the inside of a different version. So this is Emma. This is the cover of Emma. I don't know. It appeals to me. Classics, gorgeous edition of classic is something I will get. Anyway, I wanted to finally continue reading more by her. This one isn't too bad. It's not too big, so I feel like I'm less scared. My edition, I feel like, is pretty like big compared to what it is, and it's less than 300 pages, so we can totally do this. I believe in us. I do have access to an audiobook version, so I might try it just to see. I feel like some classics are just wonderful to listen to, so we'll see. But yes, this is going to be my first read of this month. I've also noticed that there is a movie, so I will obviously also watch it so I can compare, because as always, right? I'm glad a lot of you were also in the mood to read more, so our first read. The second one is going to be one of my challenges this month. I like to give myself a little challenge every month, and it's going to be a like TikTok made me do it. Oh yes, I will be reading a romance. And not like in a like, oh, it's out of my comfort zone and I feel like I'm gonna hate it and bash it. No, this is like a beach read to me. It sounds fun, light, and I want to read some of that because I feel like I've been reading a ton of really big, sometimes kind of depressing books. And it's summer. Finally sunny today, like for the first time in like 3 weeks. So I'm in the mood to read something more fun. I believe this one you're following a woman who goes to like a honeymoon with her worst enemy. I don't know how they end up doing that. And obviously it's going to be enemy to lover, which is something that has worked for me in the past. So hopeful. Maybe I'll try to read it like in a weekend, because I've been told you can read this really fast even though it's like 400 pages. So I believe in me. I have a good feeling about it. It might not be 5 stars, but like I have a really good feeling about it. Plus with that cover, it's so bright and fun. It just screams summer. So I've been told that there's great banter. So now the book that I'm about to start, so I have a week left for the month like I mentioned, but I don't think I'm going to have time to finish it unless like miracle. But Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. I read the first book last year, wanted to continue, made you vote last month which one you wanted me to continue between this and the next book I'll talk about, and you voted for this one, and I'm going to attempt it. Like I said, I will probably be almost done and finish it like the first week of August, but I don't think I'm going to have time to, like it's so big and scary, like it's so heavy. But I have been wanting to continue the series. I love Brandon Sanderson. Like this is most likely going to be 5 stars. And a lot of you actually told me that so far this is your favorite between the first 4 books of the series that are out. So the one I told you I was going to read in August, because I made you vote which one you wanted me to read first. So another big book. I'm a little terrified here. The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. This is the second book in the Name of the Wind. The Kingkiller Chronicles. I have been meaning to read this series forever. I read the first one last year. We're continuing this year. It's also 1,000 pages. It's so scary to me, but I wanted to just read it, know how I feel. Every time I mention that I want to read a really popular book, this is the time all of you come out and tell me you're going to hate it. And I'm getting so nervous. But I did overall really enjoy the first book. Like I loved the magical school. Obviously, I had like a few issues with the romance, which I've been told is probably going to be worse in this one. Like everyone has been telling me there's a scene or a chapter you're going to hate. So I'm prepared mentally, but hopeful. So that's a lot of like big fantasy books here. I have one more fantasy, which I have mentioned. I was hoping to read it last month, but like I said, life happened. But Booktube, the First Law trilogy, this is Before They're Hanged. Hopefully this month. I swear, I have been meaning to read so many of these for so long, but I'm slowly going through them. And like in my defense, like I said, they're all like over 500 pages, so whatever. I'm still hoping to read book 2 in the Millennium series. This is The Girl Who Played with Fire. Also over 500 pages, at least my edition, so will happen. Then the last one that I have mentioned, and then we'll go to the new ones to my TBR. I still want to read some Octavia E. Butler. I believe you told me that I should start with Lilith. Okay. Partially the accent, mostly the Invisalign. That TH is impossible. Lilith Broad. The first book being Dawn. I want to read at least the first book. This is like the trilogy in one book. My edition is horrible. You guys always tell me every time I show it. But yes, hopefully. Next, nonfiction, I wanted to read In Order to Live, which is a North Korean journey to freedom, which I've been meaning to read for forever. It's not too big. I do have access to the audiobook from my library, so I might try it that way just to see. And a lot of you actually told me that the author has a YouTube channel, so I have to look that up because obviously I will want to check it out once I have read her book. Now we go with the new ones. The next one I'm going to be listening to, just in case I don't have time before the end of the month, which is a possibility, is The Sundown Motel, which is a mystery, like haunted motel, which I had mentioned how I wanted to read more books with haunted places, and this is technically part also of my Goodreads reading challenge, so I have heard pretty good things about it. I'm just a little nervous because I have read one more thing by her that she had published before, and I was kind of just, I liked it fine, but I didn't love it, so hopefully that works better for me. I'll be able to decide how I feel about the author, basically. Next, Jade War, which I have been dying to continue. Earlier this year, we read on the Patreon book club Jade City, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to know more because a ton happens towards the end, and I'm just really curious how it's going to continue. It's one of those like adult fantasy where you end up really caring about the characters, so hopefully nothing horrible happens to them. I have more books, but you know what? I'm realizing I don't think I'm going to be able to read more than this. Like, I usually have crazy TBRs, and it's no different, but there's a limit of books that even I can read in a month. So that's going to be it. Let me know in the comment section which book I should prioritize, because obviously I want to try and read as many of the ones that you want me to read as possible. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you in an upcoming video very soon. Bye.
Lonely, you're the reason why I can feel those butterflies when I go to sleep at night.